Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from beautiful central Illinois. And today our question comes to us from Cecily Nielsen. And Cecily Nielsen writes to tell us that she and her husband have recently learned that they are unable to have children, and that this has provoked something of a spiritual crisis for her, because the Wiccan religion is so focused on fertility. And she asks if there is a place in our fertility-oriented religion for a person who is in fact infertile. And my answer to this is that I have never looked at it that way. I really have never considered the Wiccan religion to be about an individual person's fertility. I really don't think it has anything to do with it. In the Wicca that I believe in and practice, all people are welcome regardless of whether they're planning to have children or not. Gay people, transgender people, heterosexual people, bisexual people, people who do not have children by choice, people who do not have children by circumstance. The idea that it is all about reproduction really does not fit with my personal point of view. When we reference fertility, to me we're referencing the fertility of the earth and the universe, not necessarily an aspect of an individual person's life, at least not in the sense of reproduction. Perhaps in the sense of creativity, which is also a kind of fertility. And a creative and fertile mind certainly is something that I would see as part and parcel of the religion, but the idea that one must be physically fertile is not really, in my opinion, anything other than a personal circumstance or a personal choice. I've known many priests and priestesses who have chosen not to reproduce and never found a spiritual dissonance in this. And in fact, some of them felt that it was a higher calling in a way because they felt that the earth was overpopulated. There certainly are many different opinions on that, but this has been a point of view that I've known some people to hold. So I would say you really shouldn't let this bother you. It's not really what we mean when we talk about fertility. It may be true that there are some people in some branches who might, but overall we're really talking at a much more existential level. And for the individual, certainly you want to have fertility in your life, but again, that doesn't necessarily mean reproduction. It can mean creativity, it can mean industry, it can mean all sorts of different ways that you express yourself and advance the powers of life all around you. But it doesn't necessarily mean reproduction. The second thing I'd like to mention is that in her letter, Cecily emphasizes the three aspects of the goddess as maiden, mother, and crone as part of her spiritual crisis. And over this last weekend, I went to the Fellowship of Isis convention. We have a number of films coming that I took over the weekend. And part of this was a Dulce Domum ceremony for the Lady Dina Buddha, the archpriestess of Isis in Chicago who recently passed away. And one of the things that was said by several people at the Dulce Domum was that they looked upon Lady Dina as a spiritual mother. And I have heard this also from many other priestesses as well, that it is a kind of spiritual motherhood. And so when we speak of maiden, mother, and crone, this doesn't necessarily have to refer to physical motherhood. A woman can be a mother in many different ways, some of which have nothing to do with reproduction. And until next time, may you blessed be.